Okay. So today we're filming the making of walk 3, and our particular focus for this video is the walk itself. It's March 22nd, and we really don't know when we're going to launch yet. With Gray's treatment and training and therapy all delayed a little bit. So Ginger and I are walking through the walk plan segment by segment as best we can today. That's what we're trying to achieve, correct?
Yes.
You always look at me with those wild eyes and then the crickets, and I just don't know. I'm not smart enough to know what the hell that means. I don't read people very well unless I'm playing poker with them. So we're on the same page, right? I got the memo.
Yes.
All right,
You got
good.
the memo.
We're trying with the making of the walkthrough, trying to record all of the pivotal. We're recording on and filming all of the pivotal pieces as we put them together for the documentary. So let's start with, this is my computer. We're looking at my laptop. Let's go to the beginning of the walk. So we're not sure whether we're launching September 4th, which is the original plan, the 1-year anniversary of Hudson's death, or we may have to push it. I'm thinking October 4th because I like it. It makes sense 1 month after, but we may have to do it some variation in between. So let's try to walk this walk through, do a virtual walkthrough of the walk itself. So we have the beginning we have Henderson Lake, which is not really in the screen, right there. So walk 3 begins right here.
You don't want to start in the middle
Of the lake?
of the lake?
Well,
And you and
as though I have tried many a time to walk on water,
yeah, well,
and I can assure you I have sunk all the way down to the bottom.
like a lead balloon.
Well, maybe not that. Okay, I'm just looking and seeing how the I bought this new 50-inch TV for the purpose of being able to make these videos sort of interactive. It looks good on camera. I think it was cinematic mode. We just kept zooming in and out of the screen, so it looks good. All right. So we're not starting in the water. So this is the launch party is happening basically right here. The good news is that it's no more than a 2 mile, probably more like a 1.5 mile max hike from the trailhead to where the official starting point of walk 3 is going to be. So I'm not sure how much you want me to go over that piece of it today, how much you want to go over it. So I think, if my memory serves me well, and I have to check my notes to be sure, is that from there, actually it's really from the trailhead, it's a 10-mile walk, I think, all the way to this 25, or 76 breaks off at 25. I think that's correct.
So you're following 25.
Correct. Well, we're following the Hudson River.
Right.
So
okay.
this is the Hudson River. It's probably better for me to point it here. I wish I had one of those little the pointer things. Why don't we have a fully stocked?
I have the cat toy pointer. It's red.
Okay, I don't think
for the next time.
Next time we may do the cat pointer red thing.
Yeah.
This time I think it's close enough that I'm glad I bought this. I could just point right here. I don't know if I'm looking at my screen. So we're following the Hudson River. So 25 follows the Hudson River. It banks left or west around 28 in. And then Harris Lake. Is Harris Lake really? Yeah, Lake Harris Trailhead. I'm not going to map that distance right now because I'm probably going to have to use like pens or something to get a precise distance. So I think the Lake Harris Trailhead is probably going to be 2 to 3 days, is what I'm going to be saying. Okay, it's our first milestone, significant milestone.
Is there a city for the Lake Harris Trailhead? I mean, Lake Harris.
Well, this is actually Newcomb. This is technically Newcomb right here, Newcomb, New York. All right. So it's probably going to be a good 2-day, 3-day hike. Again, I want to know what the exact distance on 25 is going to be. So from Newcomb, we head south. Follow along the Hudson River, I guess, if we can. It's going to be hard for me to... Nope, we lose the Hudson for a bit. Where do we go? Well, we got to get down there, so how the heck do we get down there? Looks like we have to go, right, all the way here. Yeah. No, that's not going to be it. All right, well, I don't like dead air, and I don't want to spend so much time in this part of it, because this part of it, Riparius, where's Riparius? Let me just do Henderson Lake. Directions.
That's what I was trying to do, and it's not.
Indian Lake, New York. Okay. All right. Wow. So that's following the Hudson River. Wow.
Hey, Luke, you want to change that to walking? It's not going to be a direct correlation to how long it's going to take you to walk it, but...
Well, it certainly saves us about 8 miles right there, but I don't know what that is. So, okay, we're going to, for all intents and purposes, we're just going to kind of move on from here, and so we don't get bogged down. But that's about 40 miles. This represents, I'm way off on my mileage count. I said 2 to 3 days, not 2 to 3 miles. So that's about 40 something miles to Indian Lake. And then but we're actually going to Indian Lake, where the Hudson River goes over here. Now we dogleg east and we go to North River. So we really should have gone to, why am I North River? North Creek. There it is, right, North Creek. So let's, instead of doing Indian Lake, let me do North Creek.
So what about the Lake Harris? Was that Indian Lake?
So North Creek, okay, there you go. Wow. All right. I don't know. That's strange. I guess maybe because we're gonna have to lose the Hudson River here. That's it. We're gonna lose the Hudson River. The Hudson does this little dance, of course, just like Hudson, my sweet little boy.
Twinkle Toes.
Twinkle Toes. He never followed a straight line. That sweet little baby of mine. He was a troublemaker like his poppy. So this is probably gonna, I haven't really focused so much on this stretch because we're in the Adirondacks. And we may actually take some trails that we're not going to find on Google Maps, and that we're going to be able to pick up some speed and that aren't going to take us too far off the beaten path, and we're not going to lose cell service and so on and so forth. So this stretch is going to have to be thoroughly scouted out for us to really understand which route we're going to be taking. But let's just get to North Creek. So this right here, you can see, can you see? Yeah, so 32 miles, okay, to North Creek. So not 42, 32 miles. And so that's saying by walking, that's 11 hours. All right. So I don't know. So what was I saying? 2 to 3 days to Lake Harris Trailhead. So 11 hours of walking, 32 miles. That's 3 hours. That's about right. 3.5 hours. So with Gray it's probably going to be more like 2.5 miles an hour, maybe 2 hours, depending on whether we're doing the prosthetic or the cart. So basically, that is, if we're doing 6, so we're talking about 4 days. I'm gonna have to just throw some numbers out there, and then we're gonna have to go back and make sure how all the numbers go back and work, right?
So 4 days from
Start
Henderson Lake
correct to
North Creek.
4 to 5 days. Just say 5 days. Just let's err on the side of caution.
Correct, because you may
going slower.
You may have to take a day off.
Correct. So let's going slower, not caution. Always caution. Okay, so that gets us to North Creek. Is the first, I guess, real milestone that I had here, and from North Creek. There you go. The next one I had was Riparius. So let's map out North Creek to Riparius. Okay, this is saying, what is that? This is saying 7.9 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 8 miles. So let's not write down days now. Let's just write down miles. So it was 32 miles to North Creek. It's 8 miles to Riparius. We'll go back and put days later because I don't want to chew up film time, because I really want to edit this and put this. I just want to put this up on YouTube, our YouTube channel, without editing. So let's not chew up so much time working about time, just mileage count. So this is saying, how would it take us that way? 9.1 miles. So these are little differences. I'm gonna have
okay,
to.
can
Go
you
ahead,
do
please.
the add a destination instead of changing it?
Oh yeah, yep, sure.
So that
Yes,
you
ma'am.
have
Yes,
the
ma'am.
entire
That's.
route.
Thank you for being efficient. Yep. I forget efficiency like that. I sometimes forget. Thank you. It's very good of you. Always just scroll down. Very good. So from Riparius, we're going to the Glen.
I'm sorry, can you add back in the Newcomb, the first? Just if you add it, you can switch it. You should be able to change the dirt.
Henderson Lake, you mean?
Yeah. Now you should be able to drag it up.
There you go. Okay.
See, now that took you a different way. That's what I was wondering.
Okay, so okay, well, the net effect is still the same though. 32 miles plus 8 miles is 40 miles. So
Yeah.
we'll worry again.
Okay.
I'm concerned because some of these are going to be some trails, and some of these, I'll have to scout a lot of this,
Yes.
especially because it being uncertain terrain. We'll have to make decisions whether we'll be using the cart, the prosthetic, or neither on this part of it. So that's going to require scouting. So I don't want to get bogged down on this part of it. So the net effect of it is still the same, 40 miles into the walk, and we're at Riparius. So this is really good. This is you can see we're right on the Hudson River. You see right there. So you see how, let's just take a higher look at it. We're right now back on the Hudson River. So we got off. Look at that. You see it did take us off of 28. So we can maybe go back and jump on 28. It probably, yeah, that's exactly, because I'm going to check out that Hudson Gorge. As you know, heights scare the hell out of me. It's my only weakness, acrophobia, but I bet that's just gorgeous. Gorgeous. Can't be where the etiology of the name. Gorgeous.
I bet that's where it came from.
I'm going to look that up because that's the nerd in me who's going to do that. All right. So, but that only adds a couple of more miles. So we're back on the Hudson. We're in Riparius. Let's add a destination. Let's keep going. The Glen is the next stop. Yes, ma'am. And the Glen, it's taking us all the way not to the Glen Townhomes, which, oh boy, that makes sense. Let's go to the Glen Townhomes, all the way wherever
let's
hell.
walk there.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Okay, so that added 7
Boy,
miles.
Google Maps. I really would love to have a conversation at the knuckleheads that run Google one day, especially Google Maps. It's almost killed me. No joke about it. Google Maps is, I travel a lot, not walking, but driving and traveling. Google Maps has almost killed me a number of times. So I really want to talk to the people that run Google. All right. That's an aside. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Doesn't matter.
It always matters. Now we're back to the Glen. That's 47 points. That's 7-point-ish miles. Yes, ma'am? Question?
That's all I was going to say.
All right. I have to have my asides, though. Get the angst off my chest. It's a therapy for me. Okay, from the Glen.
I may have to have my aspirin.
From the Glen, now we're headed to Warrensburg. And so it's important to note out here, though, and this is important, we're putting these, I am not indigenous to this area. I think that's right, or endemic. I'm not from this area, and I have no idea. I've scouted some of this out, so I don't have native knowledge. We don't have native knowledge of what we're trying to get to, which we're trying to find places that stops where we can have maybe meet and greets. We can meet people that want to come walk with us on walk 3. Me and Greg Ray come out, bring them some water, some treats, hear our story. And so we're trying to find, not only map out the distances, but also find natural stopping points. So we're not native to this area, so we don't know if these are natural stopping points or there are better ones. So when I look at the map, I don't know if Warrensburg is better or something right next to it. And so as we broadcast this to a much wider audience over the next coming months, as we get closer to launch date, anybody from this area that says, hey, knucklehead, you don't want to have a stop in Warrensburg, there's just south of that, a mile is this is a park or something. So feedback in this process is greatly appreciated because we really don't know what we're doing in terms of finding the best locations for meeting up with Hudson's Heroes, which is what we're calling the dogs that come out and walk with us on the trail, I think.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we had decided.
Yes. All right, so Warrensburg, now let's go down to Warrensburg. It's 55.7. What was the last? I'm not adding.
47.4.
Okay, so what's basically 8.3. So we're getting this to the folks that are building out our microsite for Walk 3. When I sent you the email and sent this, you see the great thing about Walk 3, unlike Walk 1 for most of the first half of Walk 1 and most of Walk 2, where we were in the sticks and the mountains are in the dunes somewhere, is that we're really no more than 7 or 8 miles, Ginger, from civilization, from services, all sorts of services, right? So doesn't this make you feel a little bit better?
So I don't have to have some guy won't call me that I don't know that says, hey, some dude with a dog told me to call you and tell you he was okay.
And that was the guy we stayed at his like hut or something in the mountains.
I don't know.
Zero cell service.
But I hadn't heard from you in 3 days, and talking to that dude was.
Hopefully we'll get to
calling you a dude was.
We'll get to all the West or some of the West Coast stories, but man, wow, was that wild. That's probably why it's taken me it's 2014. It's taken me 8 years to get back on the road. My hands will probably still shake. That was exceedingly dangerous. It was wicked, crazy, weird, dangerous in some places. All right, but this is not going to be the case, at least in terms of services. So, because we're getting really close to Albany, and then south of that is going to be the Hudson Valley and Poughkeepsie. And I know those areas a lot better. So we're up in Warrensburg. From Warrensburg, I think, is Hadley is the next destination. Is that correct, Ginger? you have on your
Yes, Hadley.
All right. This is walking. Is this going to take us off?
But
no, it won't take us off. But you're but what?
Well, I was gonna say you're not walking along the river, but I guess maybe you.
No, we are. No, you're right. We jumped off it. But so we jumped off it, but we saved some miles. Okay, so you're right. But this is another call that we're going to have to. What are we on? You're right. We're on some type of country road. Yeah, we're on a country road, farm road, whatever they call them up in New York, upstate New York.
Yeah, because who knows what happens? Like this looks like it's some type of a road.
But you see
who knows
480.
what happens right there?
Right, exactly. And so we
You might have to, take a machete and.
And we're still in the Adirondacks. I'm fairly certain up here. That's just north of Albany. So yeah, we're either in the Adirondacks or we're in the foothills of the Adirondacks.
So it's like 20.
So that was
15,
that's
15 miles from Warrensburg.
55.7 to 70.9. So that's
20.
No, that's 5.2 or 15.2.
Yeah, okay. I was right the first time.
Good God.
15 something.
Good thing I got a BBA in finance and accounting, and simple math eludes me. Boy,
I think simple math eludes everybody.
Is reassurance. Corinth. Let's take a look at this area. We need to make note while we're doing this and going through this process, Ginger. I need you to, since you are going to at some point when you start doing your job. Is this live? Did I say that? When you start doing your job, we're gonna need to start planning events, right? So I need you to look. Okay, so this is Hadley, New York, and so this looks kind of interesting. They have a very outdoor beach. So whenever I'm on the road, not doing this with anybody else, my previous 2 walks, I would always, when deciding certain routes, I would always look for areas where to do meet and greets or meet people on the trail.
You didn't have help?
I would look.
On your first 2 previous walks?
I did it entirely by myself, both walks.
Yeah.
Entirely by myself, 100%.
Well, this one you might be adding to your 3rd walk.
I'm sure there are thousands of, if not millions of people out there that would want to help me and Greg.
And as a matter of fact, if you would like to
contact Ginger Morgan
contact me at
puppyup.org.
Ginger at puppyup.org.
All right. I lose my voice because we just we did a podcast earlier and I've been yapping all day, and so we need to get through, move forward. The closer we get to the city, we won't need to do all this.
That's Ginger at puppyup.org.
Yep. All right. So Hadley make note. Hadley looks like a cool place, maybe an area to do an event. Okay, so we continue south from Hadley to Corinth. No, Corinth is next, but Hudson Falls, appropriately, is going to be it just looks like a real beautiful area. We drove through it briefly when we scouted up in this area and back in November and shot footage for the trailer. So let's go back to
Where's Hudson Falls.
It's not next. Corinth is next. Hudson Falls is south of that.
Oh, okay.
So Corinth, why does it go back out? I guess because we have this long map now, that's why. All right, so now Corinth. So Corinth looks interesting. And that's 76 miles, so that's not very far.
6 miles.
Correct, okay, good. You keep math, because I obviously clearly can't. So let's see from there to Hudson Falls. Because that's where it's really pretty there, and I think that will be a really nice area to do some type of meet and greet, some type of, look at that, just look how, it's got the beautiful bend, see South Glen Falls, Moreau Lake State Park, there's so many, it's a beautiful, interesting area. So I think we do, this area we're doing some type of meet and greet here, some type of get some people to come, get some Hudson heroes to come walk with us. That's the plan. All right, so what is that? So that's 90, that's 90.
That's about 16 miles, isn't it?
No, that's right.
From Corinth to Hudson Falls.
That's right. So that's 16 miles. So, but in here though, there's a lot to stop in between though. No, there really isn't actually. Wow. Really? So, but it's not 16 miles to right here, West Glen Falls. So it's probably only about 10 miles. You see? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to worry about us. Yes, it's 16 miles from here to here, but it's probably only 8 miles to West Glen Falls. So we're no more than 8 miles from Service.
And it's not quite that far because it's taking you Matthew to Corinth and then it's taking you back. So there's a couple of miles to mark off.
Again, Google Maps, call me. Gotta have a conversation. Who's running that operation these days? Is it? I can't remember his name. It's not.
It's all on how you input it on the.
Yeah. All right. From Hudson Falls. So that's the note there. I wanted to point that out. Now the next town I'm going to butcher, but it's important because it's where Dawn's son lives.
Schulerville?
Nope, that's not it. You won't even get it wrong. Write it off. Nope. Nope. Let me see if I can do it. How do you spell it? There it is. Pronunciation.
Skylar.
That's it. Skylar. It's like that's right. It's Walter White's wife. That's right.
Skylar.
Off of Breaking Bad. No, it is Skylar. It is. I know it.
Can you hit the thing and see what they say?
It is.
Skylarville.
It is. It's Skylarville.
I like the way it's Vol, not Ville. It's Vol.
That's right. Skylarville. Well, that's common in that area, or actually, it's common in many areas.
Louisville.
But exactly. So, like Louisville, precisely. But it is Schuylerville because it's like Breaking Bad, the wife on Breaking Bad. But that's where Dawn, man, that was painful. That was very painful. I'm sorry. My apologies to the audience. It's very difficult for me some days. I've got so many marbles going around and your big dog's rolling around and your big dog's cranium. So Schuylerville is where Dawn's son lives, and so we have support in this area. Is where I'm trying to get at. But let me spell it correctly. It's Schuly. There it is, Schuylerville. Man, just gonna have. Wow, that's a bit of a distance, though, isn't that? Wow. What was the last? No, it was 92. Okay, so no, it's only
18 miles.
18.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. That's 18 miles. Well, we've got some stuff in between there. So we've got Thompson, we've got Fort Miller, we've got some other stuff. But that's 18 miles, a good haul, 110. So look.
Oh, you're going to go through Bacon Hill.
Bacon. That's, is there something, is there any other rating?
Indiana.
That would be Grayson. Indiana is the downstairs.
Grayson just raised his head when you said bacon.
Yeah, bacon. So I'm hoping that's the where it got its name from because they have great bacon there. Certainly would be a stop on the Fuzzy Butt tour walk 3. All right,
I just penciled that in. I mean, how could you?
Thank you. Well, we're going to go over this obviously more in depth. This is just us doing a virtual walkthrough of the actual walkthrough 3 route. So that's all we're doing, and we're going to go through this with a fine, in greater detail, each area. All right, next stop is Bemis Stillwater. Bemis Heights, Stillwater.
Bemis or Bemis?
Your guess is as good as mine.
I was thinking of Beavis and Butthead.
No, not.
I was looking at that.
No, not Beavis. Definitely not Beavis. Okay, making our way down towards Albany, and we are still with the Hudson River. So really, it's only up in the mountains.
And that's 10 miles.
Because the Hudson River is just so beautiful, so gorgeous. You've seen some of it, and that's why it's so special that Hudson, my beautiful son, was named after that. We'll get more into the story, how he got his name, some other time. We have to stay focused, or I have to stay focused. Okay, so Bemis, however you pronounce that. Now we're getting into obviously more inhabited areas. That's 120, so that's 9 miles. Let's go to Mechanicville. Just try to start knocking this out, and it won't let me add any more, so I'm done.
Well, I don't like that. but okay.
So I guess we got a max.
You can,
there.
you know what you could do is just
I
delete
am.
from the.
I am. Yeah, thank you. I think I'm not a complete moron when it comes to. I'm mostly a moron when it comes to technology, but not a complete or absolute moron.
Oh no! It took my total mileage out.
But we're 120. We're 120. I know we're at.
Okay.
At Bemis Heights, we're at 120. So 120. So so we go from here to Mechanicville. There we go. And Mechanicville is. Oh shoot, that's weird. It doesn't.
Yeah, so you'll just have to go.
Let me just
delete
go all
everything,
yeah.
from Bemis Heights or whatever that. Leave that
Okay,
and then.
Okay, Scott's already done. I'm already there. I'm a little faster than you. I'm certainly faster than my mouth, and I'm faster than my own brain. 5.8. Yeah, I know. I'm a lot.
You know, I just want to throw this in here that most people who are doing these podcast things and have cameras on them, like for documentaries, they don't pay attention. They don't play to the camera necessarily. They do what they're doing.
Are you making a statement on how my show and how I do my show? But this is very personal. The whole purpose of this is not for you and me. The whole purpose is like I'm going to make walk 3 as transparent as possible. I'm my guy. Just everything you want to know, what we're packing, the weights, Grayson's health, how Grayson's doing. Everything is transparent because our lives are riding on this. Puppy Ups, obviously your name, the name of the foundation. You know, this is in all seriousness. We have a lot riding on this. And so, am I playing to the camera? I'm speaking to everyone, I guess, who's actually paying attention now, and just I'm trying to engage the audience, engage people, because there are some people that care about this. They want to know. I know you don't. You just want to. I don't know what. You just want to look pretty like a redhead or something, and I don't know. Be at the end. I don't know. I'm not sure what. I like this part of it. The details. Don't you?
Yes.
All right. Okay, we're at Waterford now. So that gives us 14 miles. So about 8 miles.
So
Mechanicville, I'm assuming that's Mechanicville.
No, you still have Bemis Heights in there. So Waterford is 14 miles from Bemis Heights.
Is that right?
And, yeah.
It's 14 total?
From Bemis Heights.
I think that's how I was calculating it before,
yes,
was
it?
Was
yes.
it?
Yes.
Didn't it have a running total though somewhere?
Yes, it did. It did. Trust me, because I have it.
All right. I thought it had a running total, but
so
anyway.
from Mechanicsville to Waterford is how many miles?
Let me just do the next one, because I'm not sure where. I think that the total thing is 19 miles. Because
exactly.
So we're at a running total. So the total now, I get that's what you were saying, right? We started over at Bemis, and we're now at Troy, and the total now from Bemis to Troy is 20 miles, right? Correct? That was what you were saying? Okay. All right, you are correct.
So how many miles was it from Mechanicsville to Waterford?
What? I don't remember. Can you do the math?
I don't have the.
Well, we can go back and get that. We'll go back and get that. Let's not drag. If I can't talk to the camera and look pretty for the camera and smart for the camera, we'll have to go back.
You can talk to it, but that doesn't mean you're going to look pretty or sound smart.
Yeah, correct. But I'm sure I'll never get either of those outcomes, so I've kind of given up on those. But I got to do the best I can do. I only have this to work with.
Okay. Anyway, I thought we were mapping it.
We'll start now. Just start now. So Troy is 20 miles. So start now. That's your starting point. So now Troy. We're going from Troy to Albany.
But Troy is 20 miles from Bemis.
What happened over here though? What happened?
I don't know.
Here we go. Yes, correct. Troy is 20 miles from Bemis. You're calling it Bemis. Bemis.
Whatever.
You're gonna call it Beavis. I'm quite certain there's not a Butthead, New York. I'm quite certain I don't know because there's a Blue Ball, PA, Pennsylvania, and there's an Intercourse, Pennsylvania. So you never know. There's some weird names up there in that area. Now I'm on a tangent again. Albany. Do we get to go to my favorite? No, we don't get to go to my favorite name, New York City. Schenectady.
So it's 6 miles from Troy to Albany.
Is to actually Albany proper. That would be center. And the most important thing to know about this is that, and this is not a detail for today, but this is certainly a detail, is that as we get, the further south we go and as we get into more congested areas, our camping and tenting out options become narrower and narrower, right? Or more limited, right? Because we can't just pitch a tent on a golf course. We just can't pitch a tent in somebody's backyard. So as we're planning timing and stuff, it's going to be difficult for us to find a good area to tent out. And I don't want to go over it because I don't know how many minutes we're into this now, but we're a lot. But this is important. We have to go through this. At some point, we need to go over. I just want. This is not going to be like walk 1 and walk 2. I want to avoid all possibilities staying with people because of all of the many reasons that we'll get into later. And so I wanted this to be super focused, but that represents a difficulty the further south we go. In fact, south of Poughkeepsie, which we'll see, is actually certainly south of Tarrytown, right? Certainly south there. It's pretty much all shops and just villages, right? All the way to Yonkers. So we're jumping ahead. I'm jumping around as always, and your big dog's big brain, little brain, whatever. So we're at 26 miles. 10. Okay, so here Castleton on Hudson. That looks pretty interesting. So let's take a look at that. Castleton. And that is a good almost 10 miles. It's like 9 miles.
I'm just going to call it 10.
God, this year is going to get us on 9J. Or so we're actually, I don't know if this is actually technically we're on State Highway 9, maybe. And this is where it gets hairy. We're on 9 when we're in between towns. That's the video. We're going to post the video. Haven't yet. We're going to post the GoPro Hero Cam footage we got from our time in this area last fall. We're going to get that. We're going to post that. But you're going to start to see it's tight in some of these areas. It's going to be very, very tight. So how far is that? 35.5 to Castleton. So that's almost 10. So next is Hudson Longview Park. And we're not going to Hudson Long John Silver. Longview Park. There you go. Oh wow, what's to take us all the way back there? What the heck is that? Okay, this is all right. Now this is where it gets weird. Now we're not doing that. That's not what we wanted to do. I don't know why I did that. All right. How do I get back to what I just did? Oh, I just messed things up, didn't I?
I don't.
We're gonna have to start over from Albany. I screwed things up big time.
Well, just start over from Castleton on Hudson.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Castleton on Hudson. Okay. Boy, here I was talking about how I wasn't such a knucklehead with technology, and look what I just did. All right, let's start back there. Directions.
Yeah, just put your next deal
I'm
in.
going to. I got it.
And then switch it. Yeah.
I got it. Okay. So what happened there? We got to cancel out Hudson Longview Park. because some reason it took me over back. That's on the New Jersey side. Do you see what it did? Is that there are only bridges, there are only so many ways that you can get across the Hudson.
Yeah.
And as the Hudson widens, there are fewer and fewer ways to cross from New York to New Jersey. Although, for a while, it's New York State on both sides. And this may be the part where it's New York on the east side of the Hudson and New York on the west side of the Hudson. I can't recall. At some point, Jersey enters into the equation, and then it's Jersey on the west part of the Hudson River, and it's New York State on the east side. So that's what it did. It pulled me over and got weird. So let's go down to Hudson, New York.
Okay, so we're gonna get, okay.
So, wow. Wow. It's taking us from Hudson Falls. Oh no, now it really, yeah, I really screwed up, didn't I? We don't want to go to Hudson Falls. We want to go to
Is there a Hudson?
Castleton. Let me bring this. This right here this is Hudson. This is where I want to go. Hudson, New York. Hudson, there it is, right there. Okay. And is it walking? Yes, it's still walking. There we are.
Okay.
Pardon me. All right. So now at Castleton, that was 35.5. And so we're starting over. So we're starting over at Castleton, and to Hudson, it's 7.
It's 22.5 miles, or
Wow,
23,
24, yeah,
depending
right.
on where you're going. So
20,
let's
let's
just
just call it
23. Yeah.
Goodness. So we have lots of things. I think I just skipped ahead. We got to the point where I was just, there's so many of these towns, right? I have no idea how to pronounce that. I'm guessing that's Coxsackie. Not familiar with that one. Or this one, Shodek Landing. So we have lots of in between in this 23 mile. So that's broken up. Okay, so it's not one.
Yeah.
So I'm just jumping ahead. I don't want us to get mired down. At some point, we need to get. What are the puppy up in Poughkeepsie folks? What's their name? The nice folks up there and
Lori and Mark.
Right, they'll know this area, and some of the folks will know this area better, and they'll help us understand where we want to. Like, for example, do we want to do an event in, say, Columbiaville or Hudson itself? We need to do something in Hudson, of course. Hudson, New York. I mean, we got to do something in Hudson, New York, obviously. So that brings us to 23 miles. Next, I have Germantown, New York. Pardon me. I haven't eaten all day, I don't think. Man, that's not good for the walk. I shouldn't have said that. Not taking care of myself.
So that's another
Yeah.
10 miles
Yeah.
from Hudson to Germantown. Is that correct?
Let's zoom in here. And as I was talking about before, is that we're just there. See this park right here, Ernest Lasher Memorial Park. That's going to be probably a beautiful area. So what did we say? It's 33 miles, so that's 10 miles.
You know, I wonder if, not that you're biking it, but if you said that you were biking it, you would get trails that you could actually walk on.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
maybe switch when you get into the more populated areas, switch to biking and see what it does, because it's not going to take you.
Right. And right. And we will have to be transported up to New York State, ideally 2 weeks before the launch. At the latest, a week before launch date. You know, because we're going to need to scout a lot of this. And I'll want to record it and film it to go back and refer to it, because obviously I can't write it all down.
Yeah.
And can't remember it. And because we're going to have to make some hard decisions as to whether this is going to be a, like you said, is there going to be a bike path or something that we could, you know, do. Grayson could do the carts, and the carts going to be the best.
Why don't you switch from walking to
We
biking?
can't do that now. We're probably we're well over half an hour into this, and
Well, you wouldn't go back to do the whole thing, but just from now. going forward. Okay, however you want to do it.
That might mess things up, and it certainly will mess up my brain. I have to have continuity. It is going to mess up my brain, but I understand what you're saying is valid, and we'll do that. But right now, let's just get through because we're mapping mileage, and we've got to go back and add the mileage up at some point to really get a better idea of where we're at. Because we zeroed out twice now, I think. Yeah, we zeroed out.
Did.
So we've got to go back and add up all the miles.
And you're in Germantown now.
And I'm in Germantown now, and next is Kingston, Port Ewan. I'm going to do Kingston. Sounds like a stately place. Kingston is 65. Good. God, that's okay. Well, that's a bit of a stretch then.
So yeah, that's 55 miles from Germantown.
No, it's not 55 miles. It's Germantown was 33 miles. So
oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay.
33. It's 32 miles.
32.
Yeah. So we need a go between. We need something between this. That's too much. So, Mark, let's add. Shoot, how do we? Oh, shoot, no. Okay, you see again. Look, it jumped. Oh, so we got to X this out. Yeah, if you could help me look at stuff like that, because I've got my brain on too many things going on in Duder's head
okay,
right now.
So can you scroll up on?
Well, let's go to Port Ewan. Port Ewan. That's why it was hard there. Port Ewan. Nope. Still got to go over. Why is it?
What about
Rhinebeck?
Yeah, or Red Hook or
Red Hook. Red Hook. I like the name of that. There we go. All right, that's much better. 43.1. So 10 miles, 43.5 miles. And this is now Red Hook. But Red Hook might actually take us, but see, now that took us off and over because we're actually taking, you see, this is the difficulty because now it's taking us off the beaten path back into the center of the town, whereas we would just continue on. So, so this mileage is not even going to be accurate. So when I say it's between 350 to 400 miles, I'm not being, well, I don't really know. It's just, it's so difficult to know precisely the mileage count or to estimate the mileage count. So let's keep going because we can't get slowed down by that. So the next one, Poughkeepsie, is going to be a big, so let's go to Rhinebeck. No, let's go to Statsburg. So it's an H. You know what I find fascinating about towns up in this area is the Deutsch or German or the Scandinavian towns. Some have an H, some a GH, and some just with a G.
Could you scroll down so that?
Yes, ma'am. All right, I'm making an observation here. It's something I want to find out.
How many miles is that from?
It's 43.5 minus or 54.8 minus 43.5, so that's roughly 11.3. And that's not to Poughkeepsie, this is to Statsburg. My apologies to the folks at Statsburg. I will find out how to pronounce it correctly when I'm up there because I do that. Like I think before I went to Louisville, I think I did pronounce it Louisville or something.
You did, and I corrected you.
I don't think you did.
Until you got up there and you heard somebody up there say Louisville. I don't think
that's. I determine how the story is told here. I'm the keeper of the story.
Ginger
all right, now we're
puppyup.org.
Now I can edit it out too. I can edit out anything. Now we're to Poughkeepsie. I do know how to pronounce that. Love Poughkeepsie. Love that place. I love all of it. I've been to everywhere I've been on my travels. I love the places and I love the people. Mostly. 65.7 miles, and so that's another 10 miles. So we're doing good. So we're doing 10-mile increments. And this is probably going to be where it gets kooky. We're going to start picking up some miles here. There's not going to be as direct of because again we're walking, and I like that we're doing the walking. So we should not run into this issue because one thing for people who aren't from this area is they have these parkways up in, I think most of New England, although New York and New Jersey are not considered New England. But this in the Northeast is they have parkways, and parkways prohibit pedestrian and commercial traffic. So it really presented a problem in Walk 1 while we were walking through Connecticut. I'm starting to go hoarse, so we need to keep moving on. All right, from Poughkeepsie, I had Newburgh, but again, that's going to take us back over.
You have New Hamburg after Poughkeepsie.
But I think New Hamburg is going to take us through, so I don't think that's going to work. I think again.
No, right there's New Hamburg. It's on the
There it is.
same side.
Okay, got it.
Poughkeepsie.
Yep. I like to type in like 2 or 3 letters and have it pop up. I really do. Google Map guys, get to work on this. We need to work on some solutions here, okay? Did I write that down to that was 65.7 to New Hamburg, right? And now it's 74.6 miles.
9 miles.
Newburgh.
Yeah.
Am I doing that right? Yeah, that's the Newburgh. Yeah, that's correct. So next I had West Point. Wow, that's a big
No. You're in New Hamburg now.
Correct.
You put Newburgh next.
No, but Newburgh is across. But
Does
Newburgh is across
you
the
don't
river.
want to do that.
Correct,
Okay.
correct. So let's do Cold Spring. Cold Spring next. Because we really are doing a good job of doing 10-mile increments. This is a bit more. This is 91.2 miles from Newburgh. New Hamburg, I'm sorry. New Hamburg.
No, it's not. That 91.2 is the total.
I understand that.
Okay, so how many
So
miles is it
74.6, so that's about 15. Did I not say that? Sometimes I think things in my head, and they're not entirely. Well, look how it takes us all the way over there, though, away from the Hudson River. I'm not sure I want to do that. We're gonna.
You know, you probably
Fish
want
goes,
to do
everything.
like Castle Point or something.
We're gonna go Beacon. I'm gonna take this out. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna go
Yeah,
back up
okay.
to New Hamburg. So let's go back up to New Hamburg, because that takes us up the Hudson River. And the point of this is to be it's for me, it's less of a direct route and more about being next to the Hudson River. Because that's the reason why I'm doing it, for me personally and for my boy. In addition to the fundraising for the foundation, which we'll get into a lot very, very soon, because we've got something to announce very soon. It's very exciting. I'm sorry, what? I'm losing my voice. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
I'm just going to do the Castle Point.
The Beacon.
Beacon, okay.
Yes, ma'am. So we're at 74.6 to...
Just okay.
I want to be by the Hudson. Is that where you're yapping about, complaining about?
No.
So Beacon is 85.1, so about 10, shy of 10. So we're getting closer to the city. It's getting exciting. The 10-mile increments, pretty much all the way. Ooh. I need a touchscreen. I don't know why I did get a touchscreen. Now it's $1,000 more expensive, or $500. That's why. All right, staying on the Hudson from Beacon. Let's go to Cold Spring. That's 94 miles, 94.5. And I think what you're talking about, I love Cold Spring is.
Okay, so you're not gonna do West Point either.
No, West Point's no. West Point. No, West Point's on the other side. I got the other side on here. Maybe the map got inverted me like that last time. I think maybe.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, down here you've got.
I did. I switched over to Jersey sometime. God. Well, it's a good thing we're doing this, huh? I hate to be out the there on the road and have no idea where I'm going. Like that's ever happened ever. I don't think. No, I think there's only one time I got lost. Once. No, don't even. We're not gonna tell that story. No, ma'am. We're gonna cut off. No, ma'am. Cut off your mic. I don't have a mic.
in circles.
No, ma'am. We're gonna cut off your mic, even though you don't. Even though you're not mic.
Yeah, exactly.
There's
That's
some
the
way
thing,
I
you
certainly
cannot
I
cut me off.
certainly can't talk louder to you. I'm not sure if I can now. I'm recuperating from a cold. My second one this season. And I know what's up, Greg Ray. There's Greg Ray, the star of Walk 3. Back. Come over here, Greg. Get this shot, buddy. He's sitting on his crunda bed over there. He's the man. He's not the genius. He's
Okay,
certainly
so
not. There's nothing here, is there?
Go back up.
There's
What is
Garrison.
that?
It's got to be Garrison. Go. No. This is probably a protected area, Constitution Island, but that's probably, this is a marsh and certainly a bird center. So typically that's wetlands, protected wetlands. And so Garrison would be the next one. Now, why is it? It doesn't take you to the most logical one. It really doesn't. Garrison, New York. What is that? Why does it want to take me to Garrison? There it is, right? Yeah, that's right.
So Cold Spring, I've lost
It's 98.2. So that's
I've lost all.
So that's basically 4 miles, 5 miles. That's not very far. So now we go to Manitou, correct? Looks like. Oh, we gotta stop again. So we gotta go up and bam, 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 bam. We'll start over again at Garrison. So you can zero out now.
You know
okay?
what? I got
Cold Spring.
so confused with the whole total mileage thing. It's
Okay, we'll start 0. No, we're not. We're not. That was Garrison, right?
Yeah.
Garrison.
That's too bad it won't let you add all those.
I'm sure there's a more efficient way to do this, and so anybody certainly has any technical skills that wants to jump in and save us from ourselves, please save us from it. So we're zeroing out now at Garrison, right? 0.
Mm-hmm.
So the next from Garrison is going to be, let's do Manitou. And then,
Well, actually, you're not zeroed out. You have
well,
3 miles, but yeah, okay. Manitou.
you're right, 3 point, because it's tracking from Cold Spring. Okay, Cold Spring we're 0 out. At Garrison we're 3.7. So let's get to Manitou. So that's 7.5 miles now total. So that's
4.5, give or take. 4.
I'm just all over. My writing is a mess. I made a mess over here. So we're
Yeah,
at 7.5 miles. I've just made a mess of this whole thing. Giving up. All right, P skills. Got to get through this. Keep going. Keep going. 12.8 miles. Now we're at P skills. Now, what I was going to say, interesting, but we got off. Now, what the hell did we do? All right,
No, wait. Okay, we went to Manitou.
Carl, I don't want to go to Alex Beauty's shop. Look, Google Maps.
You know, it's telling you that by the time you
Larry
walk that
Page,
far,
give
you're
me a
going
call.
to need to go to Alex's beauty shop.
Where the heck was I? But I don't want to go that way. It took me that weird
Okay, so
way of
you
walking.
went Manitou, and then you want to go.
Oh, but I can't. Look, I can't though because you know what? It's 202. So it's probably. Did it take me the shorter route? Or yes, I'm probably off. I bet I can't go on 202. But that's the only way.
That's going to be too bad because that would be.
Your voice is cracking.
I know my voice is cracking. I didn't have a voice at the end of last week, so. This is where I think if we do the biking thing, that you might have a trail that you can.
Okay, twice now I'm trying to tell the story about how the skills, what that means up there. I thought it was so fascinating. I try to learn about the areas I walked through. Years ago when I was first up in upstate New York, there's Catskills is the big one. That's the one most everyone knows. but there's so many. But Skills means the area near like a river or body of water. So there's Catskills, so typically like a mountain sort of region near like a river, and it could be a lake, I think. I know I've screwed that up a little bit, but it was a while ago when I looked it up. But I find that stuff fascinating. I try to learn about all these things. So we're now in Peekskills, New York. Peekskills. I think it's Peekskills. I may be screwing that up too. But somehow we're still.
It corrected you to Peekskill and not Peekskill.
Okay, so you're right. Maybe I'm screwed that up big time. All right, my apologies again, but we got to keep moving on. All right, Croton. I think I get that one. Croton on Hudson. Croton. Yeah, they drop their syllables and their syllables and go straight to Cotton. It's like Manhattan. For Peekskills, we're going to Croton. That sound in the background is Grayson drinking. So those of you who don't think that I feed and water my kids, there's proof positive for you, despite what Ginger tries to tell you. So Croton is we're at 20.2, so that's about 7 miles.
So how far was Peekskill from Manitou? Did you write that down?
Yeah, Manitou was 7.5 total. Peekskills was 12.8, so that was about 4 and some change. So from Peekskills to Croton is 20.8, so that's about 7 and some change. So we're now at Croton, okay?
Okay.
So Croton, we're almost done, guys, I promise. For those of you who are still with us, nobody, except for the true believers, we're almost done, because once we get up to Tarrytown and certainly to Yonkers, it's just, it's all one straight walking path. Like almost to the Tappan Zee. I won't say it's the Tappan Zee Bridge. It'll always be the Tappan Zee Bridge to me. Love the name. All right, next up is Nyack. Nyack, New York. And of course, up Tarrytown. I thought, well, I guess he took me over there, Tarrytown. Where we're going, not Nyack. So we're still Nyack, but it is Nyack, New York. And so you see right there, you can see we're still in New York on the west side. That's where it keeps getting confused and when I mapped it previously. So Nyack is in New York, but it's on the west side of the Hudson River, just right over the Tappan Zee Bridge. So Nyack is 30.3, which means that's a difference of...
But you don't care about Nyack, you're going to Tarrytown, right?
Thank you for correcting me again. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna get a brain transplant one day, Grayson. Not before walk 3, so I'm sorry about that. But I'm getting a brain transplant. We're doing that for sure.
So how many miles was it from Tarrytown?
About 9. So 20.2 to 30.2. Actually, it's 11.1. So it really wasn't 9 or 10. It was 11.1.
On your next brain transplant, can you make sure that the person was not brain
dead
first?
Yes. Well, it's been a long series of long days, and they're only going to get longer as we get closer to launch date. So bear with me, people. All right. So we really can stop here, because we really can stop here. Okay, but now you're seeing that there's no green anymore. It's all one long continuous village.
See, it looks like there's something going right next.
Well,
right
at
next
some point we hit the Esplanade, the Hudson on the. I can never remember the name of that. It's the Parkway on the Hudson, the Esplanade. Essentially, there's this beautiful multi-lane walkway that starts. I think that's south of Yonkers, though. I don't think we hit that. But if you want to actually, why don't we do this? Why don't we go ahead and map it right now? Pardon me again. Haven't eaten for a while. Tarrytown's at 30.3. Okay, Tarrytown. Let's just see. How far is it from Tarrytown? Just tickle my feathers. I don't know what that means, but okay. Let's just stick with that. Yonkers. To Yonkers.
You missed Hastings on
No, I'm jumping ahead big time. So it's only another 10 miles to Yonkers.
Okay.
Okay, so 40.9. Let's go. Let's follow it all the way through. I get impatient and just try to move fast and skip things, and I shouldn't do that. And so the next thing we want to look at, because there's so much, it's so hard to get markers. So Fort Tyrone Park let's do the next.
I have no idea where you are anymore. I don't see that Yonkers thingy. Okay.
So that's 46. I don't know where it's going to, if I type in GW, I don't know where that's going to take me, so that's why I'm a bit hesitant to do that. GW.
There you go.
Tootsie, no, it doesn't.
It took you right to the middle of the bridge.
Yeah, exactly. I'd say Google Maps again, but that would be cliche. So what I want to do now is just add the end of it, which is the Brooklyn Bridge, okay?
You want to end on the Brooklyn Bridge?
We're going to end on the Brooklyn side so we're going to end in Brooklyn, not Manhattan. Walking on the Brooklyn Bridge. Hell yeah, we're walking over the Brooklyn Bridge. So along with the GW Bridge, most spectacular, and the Golden Gate Bridge. I walked that twice, my boy Murphy. And wow, that's the way to end walkthrough, right? Walking over the Brooklyn Bridge, beautiful vista of both Lower Manhattan, the financial district, and then Brooklyn. It's just the way to end. And we're gonna have that'll be the final mile, and we're gonna have. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. But let me get here, Brooklyn Bridge. There we go. Actually, let's Brooklyn Bridge, Brooklyn, New York. Or Brooklyn, let's do that, see where that takes us. Okay, so Ginger, where were we at? We were at 46. Okay, I thought you did. We're at 46.6, now we're at 58.9. So that's about 12 miles. Okay, so
from the bridge.
Correct. So from the bridge.
GW Bridge to Brooklyn.
And this is actually taking me to the middle of the Brooklyn, taking us to the Brooklyn Bridge. So let's zoom in here, okay? This is this is where I'm trying to get us to, all right? So that takes us to the middle of the Brooklyn Bridge, and if you see, we walk down here. Move this more towards me. How do I do that? No, over here. There we go. All right, walking on the Brooklyn Bridge. God, so beautiful here. Walk here on the beautiful Brooklyn Bridge down. We've got to get off it. It's some weird thing, right? And then we walk this area. It's called Dumbo. It's this gentrified, really cool area, interesting area that's artistic. It's beautiful. This is gorgeous. Got the Brooklyn Bridge Pier. They have like a food truck thing, this area. I love this area. Pebble Beach, I think, is where we took when we filmed. Pebble Beach is where we filmed from. And here's the carousel. So I want, for the final mile and the gala, I want to rent or get this area. However much where we can rent or reserve, this is where we have our party. We celebrate. And if we can't get that over here, this area, so there's plenty of areas on the Brooklyn side for us to should be able for us to have our party.
Scroll down a little bit so I can see what's up in this area. No, other. Scroll down. I want to see what's here.
Oh, Manhattan side? Manhattan side?
Yes.
You've been there. You've been to this side.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
But my thinking, if you're going to walk the final mile, it's going to wind up. Is it going to wind up being over the Brooklyn Bridge, on the Brooklyn Bridge?
Well, it's not going to be more than a mile. Is that your question? Is that where are we starting the final mile? Is that the question?
That's the question.
Okay, well that's okay. That's a great question. That's a separate than. You're right. We talked about where we end the final mile, but where do we begin it? That is a question. That would be the next question. Thank you. So that's a tough one because you and I have been here. I've been here many, many times. So I actually know this is City Hall. This is government, federal, state, municipal
I understand that,
government.
yes.
This is man. This is crazy. This is
Do you think in the
downtown.
Tweed courthouse that you have to wear tweed suits?
I'm waxing my extensive knowledge of this area, and this is important what I'm talking about. Hold on a sec. This is important because there aren't really many options for us to do any type of starting point. Like before, in Boston, we started at Back Bay Fens. And so we had, parking sucked there too.
Yeah.
Parking anywhere in Boston sucks. God. So this is going to be hard. So go ahead. What were you going to say?
That was my question.
Where do we begin the final mile?
Correct, because if you're ending it, well, I guess it's the same thing. I mean, people are going to park where
We had that nightmare. Remember, we had that in DC when we did that. Remember that in DC?
Yeah.
We walked
So we
over the
just did,
Potomac
yeah.
River and through the National Mall. So this is going to be, that's not the purpose of this, is planning the final mile and the gala and the celebration. That's not the purpose of this. All right. We'll figure that out later. But now we have the walk. So we'll add up the numbers. That's 58.9 to the Brooklyn Bridge. So that's another 60. So I'll add up the miles. We can do that here in a bit. But that's the walk plan. Section by section. Very doable. We're going to have, for the first of it, the Adirondacks. We're going to have, do you want me to do the whole thing? Well, it's not.
No, I just
We actually, let's see if I can do that. Let's see what it does.
Wait.
I'm going to start from the very beginning.
Well,
I'm going to see if
what I was
it
looking at.
but let's see if it takes us from Henderson Lake, walking, and just say what it does. Okay, it does. Wow, this says 264 miles.
Yeah, but that's not the way you're going.
That is the way I'm going. That is absolutely the way
Does
we're
it
going.
have all
Yes. I think so. But man, that's so much better.
No, pull that
How did I get? Oh, the river itself. But how is that possible? Okay, we go through Kingston, Poughkeepsie, Albany. This is. Oh, we do go through Schenectady though. Yeah, we do.
You cross. This has.
Oh, this has this. Oh shoot.
You can pull one of these points.
Yeah, let's pull that
Pull
point.
a point. Wait.
Go ahead. Thank you.
Okay,
Glen
you
Falls.
go ahead.
Well, I think Glen Falls though, right?
I don't.
I mean, no, we don't. We go to I'm sorry. Where were you thinking?
You know what? Let me.
We were going.
Hold on,
Wasn't Glen
I'll go
Falls?
back.
We went to Hudson Falls. Where did we get weird? We went west.
Okay, it was from because the Hudson Longview Park is on the wrong side of the
Warrensburg.
Hudson. So
Warrensburg.
go to-
Warrensburg is where we went.
So we went to Hudson, Germantown. Let's see, did we?
Did we go to? No, we did not.
My thing is we were Castleton on the Hudson.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's just try to do it like this. Let's start over. Let's take. We know we're gonna do. We're gonna do.
Hudson.
I'm thinking let's do Warrensburg. No, yeah, we're gonna do Hudson Falls. Okay, Hudson Falls. Hudson Falls. We're gonna do that, walking, and then let's add. From there, let's add a destination, and the next
Troy.
station. No, let's skip ahead.
I am skipping ahead.
Let's skip all the way to Poughkeepsie and see if it should keep us on this side. Yeah, it should keep us on that side, right?
Okay.
And now we're on the correct side now, aren't we?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, we go through Hudson
Yeah.
Falls, Mechanicville, yes. And so now we should be able to do to Brooklyn Bridge because we're on the east side of the. Okay, so 270
You
miles.
see what it says? Put hit biking. Hit bike. Just.
Okay, let
humor.
me write this down. This is great news, Ginger. This is great
Yeah.
news. So the walk is not nearly going to take us as long.
Mm-mm.
Wow, it's weird that we're walking pretty much, and they say that the Hudson River is 350 miles. There's such a 80 miles is
Well,
not.
because it does all this
Well,
other.
oh, but then you're right. Up in the mountains. That's it.
Up
That's,
in the mountains, it
that's-
curves,
yeah.
and even when you watch here, it
Right.
curves and it goes back and it comes.
I hate it when you sound smarter than I do. I hate that. Can we just edit this out? No, I mean, because of course my brain thinks of all the different things,
Okay, just hit
and
biking.
you go through the simplest thing. My brain
Just
thinks.
hit biking, please. Just hit biking, please.
Oh,
Ginger
we
at
are supposed to make this
puppyup.org.
fun and funny, you know. And,
Ginger at puppyup.org.
is that your SOS? Is that your cry for help? 300 miles. So biking's going to take us 300 miles. So that's not going to happen.
But I
You're
wonder.
going to add 300. Man, 270 miles. That's so much better. Wow. That's great news, guys. Wow, that's great news. Man, that takes a
100
lot
miles
of.
off of it.
Yeah, that takes a lot of stress out of all of that changes a lot. And I forget, why the hell have we ever done this? I knew we would, but that's a lot.
Were you starting with the?
But that's 80-mile difference up here in the mountains, and I don't think that's. I got to go back and rethink it because I got that 350 miles from Wikipedia. I got it from every source. The Hudson River is 350 miles long. And so I never verified it, validated it, but that certainly is a big difference. All right, I think that's it. Anything else on this episode? Rather long, tedious episode
Ginger
of
at puppyup.org.
episode of the making of Walk 3. Clearly, yes, yeah, I clearly need help. Anything else? Coffee. All right, guys, thank you for sticking with us. I'm sorry that you did. Puppy up, talk soon.
Leave that up here, okay?
Okay, I'm just turning off the camera. Thank God I recorded it all.